Hello, in this video we will learn how to install a generic REST connector with any endpoint that uses bearer authentication. To proceed, log into your BMC Helix portal, look for BMC Helix Intelligent Automation, click on that, go to connectors page, and in the available connectors you will get the list of connectors to choose from. In our video today, we will be using the generic REST connector to connect to BHOM endpoint and fire some API calls from the automation policy. Let's proceed with the demo. On the generic REST connector tile, click on configure. If you already have an existing plugin, you can use that, or you can download the plugin from here, save it, and then follow the plugin installation steps listed on the screen. If you want to use new plugin key for your plugin, then click on plugin keys, create plugin key, provide a name, download plugin key. This will download a creds.json file. Click on save, yes. On the server where you want to install the connector, copy and extract the downloaded plugin. I have extracted the remote REST API plugin.zip in this folder, and I have copied the downloaded creds.json under config folder. Next step is to create the credentials of your endpoint. You can create credentials in two ways, by providing the inputs on the command line, or you can create a JSON file with all the inputs that are required and use that JSON file to pass as argument for the credential create command. So this is my JSON file that I will be using for installation of my connector. This JSON file has the access token, bearer parameter, login action. This login action URL would be the URL of your endpoint. Provide the access key and the secret key to log into that URL, since the bearer parameter is bearer. If this was basic, then we would have used a username and password. Next step is to create the credentials for my endpoint. So I will go to the folder where I have extracted the remote REST API plugin zip. Open the command prompt here. I'm using this command to create the credential. Credential.bat create -n is the name of your connector, -i is the endpoint URL, -p is the type of provider, which in this case is generic REST, -a is the authentication type, and -f is the JSON file that has all the arguments in it. Press enter and this will create your credentials to connect to the endpoint. To get the list of the credentials, type credential.bat and get command. So on this connector server, I have just one credential stored. You can now run the remote REST API plugin on command line or install it as a Windows service. I will be installing it as a Windows service, so I'm using install.bat and install command. This will create a service named remote REST API plugin. I will go to my services, refresh this, and check the name remote REST API plugin. I have it as running. I am now back to my intelligent automation application. So I will go to connectors, and here I can see that I have a generic REST connector configured. I will click on the I. This has my host name, the IP of the host name, the plugin status, and the plugin key name. Please make a note that this is the same plugin key that we downloaded during the start of this demo. So this is how you can install a generic REST connector that would connect to any endpoint with bearer authentication.